After last episode, we're going to relax a little bit and add a couple of simple steps just to clean up what we have so far. We're going to make a new HP change function that we can use whenever we change a target's HP, whether it's to heal, damage, or even revive. Then we're going to add floating damage or healing numbers that pop up whenever we call our new function. And lastly, we're going to put in death effects, so our enemies disappear and our allies enter a downed animation. So let's start with the change HP function. Let's open up our battle function script and add a battle change HP. We pass in a target unit, an amount positive or negative, and a value called alive, dead, or either. This value, we'll write a little reminder to help, will tell us if the HP change should be allowed to affect only living targets, only dead targets, or both. Most damage actions will be set to 0 and only affect living targets. No need to actually damage something beyond 0. Most heal actions will be set to 0 as well, as you need different magic to actually revive a character usually. Revival actions, your Phoenix Downs, life spells and so on, would usually be set to 1 and only affect dead characters, doing nothing to characters that are already alive. And I don't know, maybe you have an exception case where you want it to affect either, maybe a special elixir that can heal as well as revive. The option is just there if you want it. We set a colour value that will be white if we're dealing damage, or lime green if we're healing our target with a positive value in amount. If the action can't work for whatever reason, we change amount to failed, and we'll show that instead of a number. Then we'll use instance create depth, and at the target's x, y, and depth, we'll create an instance of a new object called oBattle floating text. We'll pass in a struct containing the font, colour, and amount as a string, and if failed is false, we'll actually apply the change to the target's HP, still clamping between 0 and the target's max HP. Now we'll make the floating text object, new object called oBattle floating text. In the create event, we'll give it a gravity, random upward direction, 5 degrees either side of straight up, and a speed of 1.5. In the step event, I'll reduce the alpha each frame unless we're traveling upwards, so it will slowly disappear on falling. Then once we fall below the starting position, we stop it moving, so it kind of looks like it landed. Then if the alpha hits 0, we destroy it. Then in the draw step, we set our font, alignment, and alpha. We'll set the colour to black, and then we'll do a kind of hacky but effective text outline by drawing the text 4 times, each offset 1 pixel in 4 cardinal directions. Then we set our colour to our actual text colour and draw the text over the top and set our alpha back to 1. If you're wondering what a non-hacky way is to do text outlines, there's shader solutions, but also you could look into Juju Adams' Scribble library, which has ways to bake these kind of effects into new fonts at runtime. It's really, really good, but for a quick result, this works just fine too. Now we'll put our new function into the game by going to our game data script and changing our attack action to use it. We'll get rid of this line here and replace it with battle change HP, targets 0, damage with a negative symbol as we want to remove HP, not add it, and then 0 because we want to affect living targets only. We can test the game now, and all going well, we'll see that damage numbers pop up after our attacks now. Let's finish off by adding death animations to our units. First of all, the enemies, as they're a bit simpler. We'll add the step event to oBattle unit enemy and initially just call event inherited. This does nothing, but if we ever add a step event to our parent, oBattle unit, we probably want the child objects to inherit it later, so this will just save us having to do that later down the line. Then we'll check if our HP is 0 or somehow below. If it is, we make the color blend red and reduce our alpha each frame. We don't actually destroy the unit, we keep it around. It's generally more flexible to switch off units, as it were, that are dead, rather than actually destroy them, as we might want to be able to revive them and use their information in some other way later, etc. And it keeps them consistent with how our ally characters work. Usually, if we want to check a character is dead or not, we just check its HP, rather than check to see if it exists or not. Okay, so then in oBattle unit PC, could have called this ally rather than PC actually, might have been better, oh well. Anyway, we add the step event again and event inherited again. Then if HP is 0 or below, we set sprite index to our predefined down sprite. If the HP is above 0 and our sprite is currently set to the down sprite, we set it back to the idle sprite. Important that we only do this if we're currently downed, otherwise we'd be resetting our sprite to idle every step. Anyway, that's everything, so if we run that, get into a fight, I'll fast forward a little until something dies, and we'll see that when enemies die, they turn red and fade out. When allies die, they go into a downed sprite. Simple. That will be all for this episode, just some cleanup before we start diving into actually selecting actions for our units and having them maybe not always target themselves. Hope you're enjoying this series, congratulations on making it to the end of episode 4. New episodes released semi-regularly, about a week early on my Patreon, and usually the following week on YouTube. Thank you to my patrons for funding my work, and thank you for watching. I'll catch you all next time.